Zeitlin's here. Of 60 Minutes fame. You saw him with Steve Croft doing the whole Sony thing. This is Mr. Sony hacking right here.
Awesome.
So he's going low rent this morning. Not really. Shares of. I'm not.
No. How much time did you? You're going to have. We'll go right to 9 o'clock too, if it'll help.
A lot more than I got in 60 Minutes.
Yes, there you go.
Thanks.
See? Okay. Shares of Apple on a big run over the past 3 months. The stock's up close to 20%. Is closing in on a 52-week high. All this ahead of today's after the bell release of those earnings. Matt Zeitlin is a business reporter at BuzzFeed. You did do this. Did you break the Sony hack? Were you the first?
Part of it. Part of it. Yeah, the Obama emails with
back and forth.
Pascal. That's one I found.
That's okay. So there you have it. Let's talk Apple this morning. What are you looking for this afternoon? What should we expect?
Well, it's not going to be the best quarter in corporate history like it was at the end of last year, but they're going to sell a ton of iPhones. I think people are expecting around 58 million. I would expect maybe a little higher.
Do you think we're going to get any disclosures on the watch, or should we even care about the watch?
I mean, I think the watch is interesting just as a test of if Apple can create a new product that a lot of people want, but I don't think we're going to hear a lot about it. And they've said that they're not going to break out watch sales.
Right. So the story is always the phones, but should we also be looking at computers? Because one of the things I was just up at Cornell this weekend. Every single kid, Joe, had an Apple computer. It was shocking. Either using an iPad with a keyboard attached to the iPad, or an Apple. But no, I didn't see Windows machines anywhere.
Well, I actually still have the MacBook that I used in college, and everyone else had one too. But it's a much smaller part of the business. Apple's basically an iPhone company, and they released a new one that a few people will buy, but I would just look at the iPhones.
Right. Beyond the iPhones, do you think we're going to get hints of any other new products coming? What are you expecting later this year?
No, I don't think Tim Cook's going to be revving an engine during the earnings call or anything. So,
do you expect TV, by the way, to come this year?
No.
You expect nothing?
There's going to be, as BuzzFeed reported last month, there's going to be a new, the Apple TV product will be refurbished, and there'll be a new one. It won't have 4K screening, but I don't think we're going to see an actual...
$56 billion in revenue, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Year-over-year revenue growth, even modest.
Around 30%, yeah.
That possible? How long can we discount that into the future? Forever?
I mean, people, the group of people on Earth that can buy iPhones only grows, and more importantly, the group of people that can turn their iPhone 5s into 6s and 6 Pluses, which are more expensive for the bigger screen. It's just going to be more revenue for Apple.
We need to view, maybe we do need to view Apple's market cap as not the market when it hits $1 billion, because we've never had one.
A trillion.
A trillion, I'm sorry. Yeah, right. We've had $100 billion a bunch of times with Cisco and others. But when it hits $1 trillion, I think you need to add in the market caps of all the companies that Apple has disrupted and put out of business. And then you're adding up like 30 companies, so maybe you deserve $1 trillion, right? We need to look at it differently, because the law of large numbers must not apply to Apple.
Well, it's just, they're riding a trend, the global adoption of smartphones and the fact that...
Well, Nokia was doing that too. Right. But, not everybody rides it, they fall off the wave.
But, Apple's basically really the only company making a lot of money just selling smartphones right now, and there's no reason to expect them to stop. I mean, they have a superior product. They have the strongest brand. I have my
I don't even think we should call it a phone anymore. I don't know, right?
What does
supercomputer.
What does their success say about Google and Android? What do you think is happening long term?
Well, there are more. The installed user base of Android, of course, is larger than Apple's. It's just they have a totally different strategy. Google's not trying to make money selling handsets. They barely have that business, and they want your information. They want your data. Whereas Apple wants to make a superior product and sell it for high prices.
Do you think they're ever going to come up with a product that's a cheaper product to sell more?
Oh, cheaper? I mean, absolutely. If you want a cheap phone that can basically do what an iPhone does, they're very easy to buy, but people seem to want to pay more for the iPhone, and I expect that to continue to be the case.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Matthew, thank you for coming in this morning.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you for coming over here. I want to hear more about the Sony stuff. I think that's amazing, but it's a longer story.
True.
Can I ask a Sony question? Do you think it's fair now that it's all out there on WikiLeaks, because that happened since the 60 Minutes piece, for people to just report on anything in it, or do you think there's only specific things that should be made public?
I think the standards that BuzzFeed and other news organizations applied when we had the emails in December shouldn't change at all. If it's newsworthy, it should be reported. People have found new stuff that I think is interesting and newsworthy, like the Ben Affleck story. I think that captivated a lot of people. But some of the other stuff that's been reported, I don't think would have met the standards that we were applying in December.
But the slope that we're on, and which term you want to use? Genie's out of the bottle, toothpaste is out of the tube.
Right.
There's a bunch of the farm animals have already left the barn doors. So whatever you want to use,
yes.
It's not going back in, right? And once it's out, it's out.
I think everyone at Sony has
we should think about that though.
Right. Their emails are getting.
Has it changed what you put in your own emails?
We always are taught that eventually your emails will probably be read by someone who isn't intended, and unfortunately, the behavior doesn't change as fast as it should probably.
Evidence mail. That's what the E stands for.
Evidence mail.
That was long ago.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's cooler, Andrew or Steve Croft?
Right now I'd have to say Andrew.
Yeah, right now.
Nice.
See, yeah.
Nice.
When he's off the set later.
Right. That speaks volumes. So up next.